So today we're going to be talking about Pythagorean theorem. Some vocabulary words that we're going to go over are hypotenuse and right angle. Hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle. And you know it's that side because it's right across from the right angle. And then the right angle, well, I just showed you it's right there, and this is the hypotenuse. Pythagorean theorem only works on right triangles. So those are triangles with right angles. Okay, and the formula we're going to be using is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And in this lesson, we will also only be we'll only be solving for c. You can solve for a or b, but in this lesson, we're going to master solving for c, and then we can go over how to solve for a and b, which is fairly similar anyway. So we'll be labeling that as A, B, and C. For this first question, it's 9 feet tall and 12 feet long. And this is C. So we're going to write down the formula, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now we're going to fill in the numbers with the letter that we marked them with. So we marked A with the number 9, so we're going to do 9 squared plus, for B, we have 12, so 12 squared equals, and we don't know what C squared is yet. So now we're going to break these numbers up. So 9 squared is 9 times 9, and 12 squared is 12 times 12, and we're going to be adding those. So let's multiply these first. 9 times 9 is 81, plus 12 times 12 is 144. Equals c squared. Now we're going to add these, and it equals 225 equals c squared. So now to get rid of the squared, we're going to find the square root of 225 and c squared, which this just cancels the 2 out, and it equals c. And the square root of 225 is 15. So you see how we were using the squared, and then with that you multiply this number to itself. So then you got 9 times 9. So this is 15 times 15. So this will be our answer. And the way to check is if you plug in the numbers again. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So now we're going to put the numbers again. And we're going to fill in the c squared with 15 squared. So this, we're going to skip this part because we already know what it is. So it's 81 plus 144 equals, we have 15 times 15 is 225. This equals 225. So we're correct. So if you would have gotten a different answer here, or even a different answer here, let's say this didn't equal 225, then that means your answer is wrong. But since our answers came out the same, that means the answer is correct. So now we're going to go on to the second one. That is 6 inches tall and 8 inches long. So we're going to write the formula so we don't forget it. And then we're going to fill in the numbers the way we did the first time. So 6 times 6 is what we're going to write right here. And then 8 times 8. You're going to help me with this math that's coming up. So 6 times 6 is what? 36. And 8 times 8? 64. Equals c squared. So now we got to add these. So 4 plus 6 is 10. Carry the 1. 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. Equals c squared. Now we got to find the square root to get rid of the squared. So that would exit that out. And what do you think the square root of 100 is? What times what equals 100? 10. Perfect. we can check our answer. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared. We jump again, so we don't waste time. 36 plus 64, like y'all said, and this is 100. Our answer is right. Awesome. So now the next one, we're using a bigger number. Don't freak out. A, B, and C. The only thing that's different here is you'll notice that the triangle is sideways tilted, so it's the same thing. The hypotenuse is still this one because the right angle is right here. So we're solving for C right there. So 40 is A, so 40 squared plus 9 squared equals C squared. So 40 squared is 40 times 40 plus 9 times 9 equals C squared. So now we're going to multiply these. 40 times 40, those are big numbers. So the way I think of it, if you're trying to do it in your head, we're going to do 4 times 4 times 4 equals 16. And then we take these two zeros and we add them to the bottom. It's 1600. Plus 9 times 9, 81. Then we're going to add them. What do we get? 1,681. Awesome. Now we're going to find the square root. Get rid of this. C equals 41. Awesome. And we already know how to check the answer, so we're going to go ahead and skip that. Now I'm going to check on your understanding. Make sure you're following along with me. So we're solving for C here. This is our A, this is our B. So if this is our formula here, if this is what we're going to be trying to solve, I'm going to give you a couple minutes and go ahead and do that on your own. All right, so 3 times 3 here, 4 times 4 equals C squared. This will be 9 plus 16 equals C squared. It's 25 equals C squared. We're going to find the square root. Did we all get this answer? Awesome. And what is the length of, what is the name of this side of a right triangle? What is the name of it? Yeah. Uh-oh, wrong slide. And what's the name of the longest side of a right triangle? Hypotenuse. Awesome. Next slide. So this is your independent work. Go ahead and get started on that. And I'm going to be walking around for a few minutes in case you need any help. So go ahead and get started. Okay. Now let's get started on covering these. So this is the triangle we were working with. Oops, 24 inches. And see, so we're going to write this out. All right, 7 times 7 plus 24 minus 24 equals C squared. So what answer did we get here? 7 times 7, 49, plus 24 times 24, what did you guys get? 576 equals C squared. Now we have to add these, that equals 625, awesome. Equals C squared, we gotta find the square root. And what did we get as the answer? 25. Awesome. 25 inches. Don't forget to add your units. Okay, the next question was 35 centimeters, 12 centimeters. And we're looking for C. So we did 35 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. 35 times 35 plus 12 times 12 equals C squared. Now what did we get for 35 times 35? 1225. Awesome. 12 times 12, 144 equals C squared. Now I gotta add these. What do we get? 1,369. Cool. Now we got a square root to get rid of the squared. We get C equals 37 centimeters. Awesome, you guys are doing great. All right, let's go to this one. So this one was a word problem. It says you need to replace the beam that connects the two sides of your roof. How long should the beam be? So this was the picture that I drew for you on there. This was 25 feet, 25 feet. This was our rectangle. So that makes this the hypotenuse that we're solving for. So if we have 25 square plus 25 square, it should be easy because we're using the same numbers. 25 times 25 plus 25 times 25 equals C squared. So what's 25 times 25? 625. Plus 625 equals C squared. Now we have to add these. Equals 1,250 equals C squared. Now we have to find the square root to get rid of the square on our C. So let's do that. What did you guys get for the square root of 1,250? And I asked you to round to the nearest tenth. 35.4 feet. Awesome. You guys did great. So now before we go, we are going to, I'm going to have you work on these until the bell rings. So go ahead and work on these and we'll check them tomorrow morning to make sure that you guys understood this. And if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know.